I've been the jealous teammate in a group where someone I was close to started moving faster than the rest of us, getting recognition, getting the kind of attention that made everyone around them seem smaller, including me. And I did not think of myself as jealous. I thought I had concerns about their character. I had my reasons. To be honest, we all know that there is a moment in professional football that nobody films. The camera follows Mbappe. Are the men who saw exactly what happened out there, who saw every pass, who saw every run before the shot. Something uncomfortable sits within them. In that intense air where nothing gets spoken out loud. A midfielder who covered the most of the ground in the match is quiet in a corner. A defender who won the ball that started the whole sequence didn't get a single mention. And they know. And knowing is the problem. Well, I used to think that jealousy between people in the same friend group, same teammates, people who grew up together was just weakness, a character flaw. That if you were secure enough in yourself, someone winning wouldn't even touch you. I guess I've changed my mind completely on that. Because the more I read about this, the more I think about what happens in that specific dressing room, in that specific atmosphere, the more unease I feel. Because it might just be the default setting in all of us. Leon Festinger published a paper in 1954 called A Theory of Social Comparison Processes, one of the most cited papers in the history of social psychology. The core idea is simple. We evaluate ourselves by comparing with other people. But we don't compare ourselves to Taylor Swift. We don't compare ourselves to Haaland from a distance watching, sitting at home. The comparison only comes when it happens inside of our own friend group, among our own people. The more someone is closer to you, the more it triggers you when their success level is better than yours. Because their success doesn't just make them look good. It shows you the reflection of yourself, the place that you are in, and that is uncomfortable. A psychologist named Norman Feather spent years building the tall poppy scale, a way of actually measuring how people respond to high achievers in their own friend group. What Feather found wasn't that people resent success. They resent success that feels undeserved. The internal logic isn't just, I want what they have, but it is, he thinks he's better than me now. That simple distinction matters more than it might seem. They think of themselves as right, but they're not making an emotional admission. They're just making a moral judgment. And that is what makes it so hard to detect. The missed pass isn't accidental, but the player making it might genuinely not know that. There is an anthropological practice documented among the Juhansi people of Southern Africa, a hunter-gatherer group that a researcher named Richard Lee spent years studying. When a hunter brings home a large kill, something impressive and something that took real skill to do, the rest of the group doesn't celebrate it. They mock it. They say the animal is thin, the meat is poor, and they just got lucky. They call this insulting the meat. And the hunter is expected to agree, to downplay what it did and act like it was nothing. For a long time, observers interpreted this as cultural modesty, but Lee's reading is different. It is a leveling mechanism, a built-in social technology that exists only to prevent any person from accumulating too much status. Because in a group where a small band of people depend on each other to survive, someone with huge status becomes a threat to the equilibrium. That mechanism is followed by us. When Haaland scores 36 goals in a single Premier League season, his teammates give interviews about collective effort and the system, but some of them start making slightly different decisions on the pitch. Holding the pass for a half second too long, it may seem small in the moment, but makes a big difference in the game. The hunting party is insulting the meat. They just don't know that they're doing it. But now I am certain that I had it backwards. That I had that tight, uncomfortable feeling in my chest that I didn't want to name. I didn't work that out for a long time, but fortunately when I realized it and stopped it, I became more aware. I learned to consciously pace myself, to step out of the comparison loop, and to genuinely find satisfaction in who I am. So this is what I have been able to resolve. The exceptional person who's outpacing the group doesn't actually have to choose between dimming their light or quietly absorbing a toxic social tax. And the people around them don't have to be trapped in an endless loop of unexpressed envy. The exit from this trap isn't about forcing yourself to play humble. It is about shifting what you value. When you anchor your self-worth in your own personal progress rather than someone else's highlight reel, you stop viewing a teammate's success as a threat. You start viewing it as a proof of what is possible. It turns out you can want your teammate to succeed and completely mean it. But that level of support requires a rare kind of maturity. You have to be willing to look at your own reflection in the mirror, confront the discomfort, and decide that you are already enough. Just like Erling and Jude. If you've been on the receiving end of this, the slightly too late pass, the friend who got quieter as you got further, you already know what this exactly feels like. And you probably already know that it didn't feel like jealousy from their side. If the honest part landed, that one is worth sitting with for a while.